Oh, you had a pretty good player to remember to forget up there.
I forgot who it was.
Wes Welker.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so I have Wes Welker. Obviously, he was a wide receiver for the Miami Dolphins and more famously for going to the New England Patriots and being good. Although, hey, and he played for Denver as well. So mine was Wes Welker. And the only reason I did Wes Welker, because, let me go on good old
Yeah,
YouTube.
I was kind of confused about that one because I actually know that name.
Yeah, it's not something, I mean, it's probably easy to remember him, to forget him if probably, but because he's not a guy who completely stands out. But if you mention his name, it's like, oh yeah, I remember he exists and is alive.
Mm-hmm.
Wes Welker. I just because I like finding these athletes doing local TV commercials, and because they're just so awful at them. So I found this one for Wes Welker.
Receiver for the New England Patriots. Excuse me, aren't you Wes Welker, the wide receiver for the New England Patriots?
That's right.
I'm so excited to meet you, but what are you doing?
I'm trying to find out which one of these is better.
Well, look at the price tag. The Simmons Beauty Rest Black set is $19.99. Bob's Black Label is only $9.99.
So you're trying to tell me I can buy 2 of these for the price of 1 of those?
Yep. Now that's the way to really score. Patriots running back Kevin Falk is on a Tempur-Pedic power bed.
We got Kevin Falk in here too.
Wes Welker's on a power bob with Babupedic. How's it feel, guys?
Great. Amazing.
What do you like the most?
I can raise my head and raise my feet.
Me too.
How's the massage?
Awesome.
The Tempur-Pedic is $4,600. The power bob is only $19.99. Why pay $2,600 more?
I am not paying $2,600 more.
Don't even think about it.
So that's Wes Welker and even Kevin Falk in their TV debuts. I don't think we will see them in Hollywood anytime soon. It was just awful. I have no idea why they had Wes Welker just tossing a football on one side of the bed on the other. I have no idea what he was doing that. I don't get it. I don't get who was directing the commercial, but it was awful. So Wes Welker, I remember you for having a terrible local commercial and not for being awesome after you left the Dolphins. So that's Wes Welker. I mean, we could talk about his numbers and all that stuff, but I didn't want to talk about that. I just wanted to see the commercial. You guys have anybody?
I mean, I could pop one in.
Alrighty.
We kind of like referred to him a little bit earlier in the day, but my player that we forgot basically, or we remembered to forget, is Marc Bulger. Marc Bulger was a quarterback out of St. Louis for long assignment, and it was during the dark era before the Empire came in. For
You got a picture of him on Wikipedia out of TGI Fridays. It looks like.
Yeah, he looks like a guy. He looks like a bro that I would hang out with. He was drafted by the New Orleans Saints in the 6th round in 2000 draft. He was in the Brady draft, I believe. He was one of the few successful ones. He got kind of bounced around a little bit. So when he got to the Rams, he kind of like started throughout the season, and then ultimately, I won't go through the stats, but he lost his role to a couple concussions, a couple injuries, different politics when there's new coaches in there. He went to the Ravens to be a backup to Joe Flacco, and then he retired. But he was a good statistical guy. He was the quarterback during the dark era when the St. Louis Rams were just terrible. Getting the number 1 pick in Bradford and all that stuff is what kind of calloused it. But he was just there. He had a couple of years of success, but overall he was a pretty competitive guy who got cut short. Since retirement, he picked up the sport of curling, and he played in the 2018 Curl Masabi Classic, which is the adventure. He threw lead rocks for the John Benton team. I don't know what that is, which included former retired player Jared Allen, who is one of the scariest men I've ever seen in my life. And I'll probably mention him next week.
Wow. Okay, that
wins.
Yeah, that took a turn. You don't have anybody this week, Andrew?
Unfortunately, I do not.
You don't want Fred McGriff and want to see his Tom Amansky AAU baseball training videos? Do you guys remember that?
I do.
The Tom Amansky baseball training videos that were like on, I think they kept showing them on Nickelodeon stuff, and it was endorsed by Fred McGriff, the crime dog. I don't know if anybody remembers, but I remember that. I remember seeing it so many times.